Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of DC Collectors. Today we're taking a look at the McFarlane Toys gold label DC Multiverse Batman action figure. Now if you're not familiar with this particular figure is actually designed by Todd McFarlane himself and put into action figure form. This is not based off of a comic or a movie or a TV show or a video game. This is literally out of the mind of Todd McFarlane. Just a Batman reimagined from Todd McFarlane. And this also is a gold label action figure. This is one of the first, I do believe, exclusive to Walmart, so you can only find him there. And unfortunately, he seems to be a little bit hard to find right now, but give it time and I'm sure he'll be readily available. Side of the box here features, of course, Todd McFarlane's signature Batman, and it says right here, designed by Todd McFarlane. Back of the box just features some artwork. I don't know, did McFarlane do this artwork? Let's see. Art created for Todd McFarlane designed Batman. So I don't know that Todd actually drew that sort of a painting there. I don't know. We'll have to do some digging to see if we can find that out. Also, on the bottom of the box, you can see that other figures in this particular DC Multiverse line. This side of the box is just a window into the figure. And bottom of the box gives you the UPC in case you need it to look it up on Pop Finder and all that kind of good stuff. And let's see if I can get a better look at that gold label there for you, McFarlane Gold Label Collection. Now I pre-ordered this on Walmart.com when it first went up for pre-order, and luckily I got it. I see that some people's pre-orders have been being canceled by Walmart for whatever reason, but I did get mine. Now the packing was not the greatest. They literally forced this box into a box just big enough to fit that guy in there. All right, so with all that out of the way, let's take this guy out of the box. Let's play with him. Okay, so here is the Todd McFarlane Batman out of the package, and first what we're going to do is look at the accessories that he comes with. Of course, he comes with the traditional trading card, which is pretty cool. Just the artwork that was on the back of the box, and the back of the box just gives you a little bit of info about this particular figure, and more so it gives you info about how Todd McFarlane got started with Batman back in the 1980s. Leave it right there for you to pause if you want to read. Other than that, we're going to put him over here. He comes with the traditional DC Multiverse base with the DC logo that all of these figures come with. He comes with these two cool swords, or knife, dagger, sword thingies. I think they are pretty much the same. Yes, they are. And he has, it's got a little tape on it left from the packaging. He does have sheaths on the back that he can slide these into. We'll show you those in just a second. And he has some bat goggles, because what Batman doesn't need? Bat goggles, and it looks like they will go over his head. All right, so let's look at the paint and the sculpt on this guy. The one thing I do not like right out of the package is the size of this guy's forehead. I want to call him Forehead Batman, because his head, you know, from the side, I guess the side profile doesn't look bad, but the front, it looks sort of awkward. I don't know why, but for some reason it just looks really, really awkward to me. Now the Bat logo is not molded or glued onto the chest. This is actually a part of the cape piece here. As you can see, if I turn it up a little bit, well, actually it is molded into the chest. I mean, it's glued into the chest, and I wonder if that's what's keeping the whole head and neck cape piece down. It's all one molded piece there, and that's what's holding that down. Some really nice things going on here. I like the pouches, the bat symbol, which is painted kind of cruddy there. I don't really care for that paint job on that. I don't like these little knives because they bend out because of the leg. So that was, to me, that was sort of a poor choice to put right there. If you were going to put those, maybe put them back here, you know, along the back of the belt somewhere, just so they don't poke out like that, because that just looks really, really awkward. Lots of cool little things going on across this wrap around his leg. You know, you got some grenades or smoke bombs or whatever you want to call them, more pouches. I don't know what that is, maybe a flashlight or something like that. Just some really nice things going on. I'm assuming that's some kind of armor plating or something going on there. You got some nice boots. I mean, those are decent boots for Batman. Can't complain about those. Kind of a nice idea. I like little texture going on here along the front of it, little guards on the side there. This part right here, I could have done without that, you know. Make it maybe a little more traditional Batman, where it kind of goes up in a triangle area right there. That may have been a little bit better. Also, this particular Batman looks a little fat. And I don't know if it's because of all the gadgets and stuff along the sides that just kind of make him seem a little fat in the middle. I'm not sure, but we'll take a closer look at that. Ooh, look at the gauntlets. I mean, there's some really cool things going on there. He's got like 3, instead of just the bat fins right here, he's got them right here and right here. He can really do some damage. Even got some stuff on his hands right there. Some really cool kind of spiky things on his hands. Now, I will say the wrist joint right here, the ball joint around the wrist is not... It's a little too on the nose. I mean, it's a little too out there and in view, and it makes the aesthetic of the arms just not look good to me. I wish they could have hidden that a little more, somehow up inside the gauntlet a little bit or something. It looks funky. It looks weird. I don't really particularly care for that, especially the size of his arms look a little thin too compared to the thickness of his body. I don't know. That looks a little weird too. Let's look at the back here. Of course, there's the tooth sheaths for his blades here. We'll put those right there, through there. I like the way the cape sort of folds in over the back. That's a pretty cool aesthetic there, and I like the way it kind of points up on the corners. I really dig the way that Norm Brayfogle, you know, tip up here to the corner. That's pretty cool. I like the way it sort of comes down into a point right here. I do typically prefer my Batman to have the cape that comes over the shoulders and hangs down a little bit. This looks more like Adventure Batman, like he's going on some kind of stealth or some sort of adventure other than fighting crime in Gotham to me. Let's take a look at the articulation for Batman. First up is his head. Let's see. He can move up. That's about as far up as he can move. He can move down pretty good. And of course, he can probably spin all the way around. Can he tilt his head? A little bit. Not much. Not much tilting going on there. As far as the arms go, yes, he does have butterfly shoulders here and there. He can get some pretty decent expansion of the arms. That seems sort of stuck there. But he can get those up pretty good. Down. Bicep swivel. That's pretty good. And I'm rotating the shoulder as I go too. I didn't mean to do that. He does have double jointed elbows. You can see there. And of course he has that wrist articulation that we already talked about. While it's good articulation, it looks odd. It just looks really odd there. Let's see. Does he have ab crunch? Not much. He can turn up here at the chest pretty decent. There's no turn at the waist though, just up here at the rib cage. And that makes it, I don't know, it looks funny to me. I don't know. As far as, wow, that's the split right there, because of the amount of crap on his belt is keeping him from really moving too much. Again, you know, you try to split, I mean, you try to do a split right here and you're just making those knives bend out, which just looks awkward to me. He does have double jointed knees, as you can see there. And of course, McFarlane's ankle articulation that goes all over the place, and toe articulation as well, which I don't really care for. Let's put Batman, let's try to put his goggles on. These, man, they're hard to fit over those two huge pointy head thingies. Now, okay, so he does look better with that on his head right there. I mean, think that really kind of sets him off as a better Batman, and that's why the head is so long. Without these goggles, his head looks weird, but with the goggles on, he looks pretty cool. I think it changes up the figure by just putting the goggles on his head like that. Can they slide down over the eyes? Yes, they can. Now, I don't really care for this look for Batman. I'd rather have the goggles. Let's see, I get up close. This is what it looks like up close when they're over the eyes. And here's what they look like just kind of sitting on the back of his head. I think I like them better like this. Just sitting over his head like that. Alrighty, so that's Batman. Now, let's take a look at this particular Batman along with other Batmans from this particular line of toys from McFarlane. Okay, so here are the similar looking Batman all together from the DC Multiverse line. I didn't get the blue and grays. I just got the black and gray versions of Batman, so you can kind of get a look at all of them together. I think this is pretty cool. He kind of fits in with the line overall. Probably not my favorite Batman released by McFarlane, but it is a good, a good attempt, a good design by McFarlane, especially with the goggles on. Without the goggles, he looks a little weird. The cowl does. Probably not my favorite Batman out of all of these Batman. I'd probably have to say that maybe the Dark Knight's Metal Batman might be my favorite of those. But all in all, this guy, the McFarlane Batman, the gold label Batman, is a great, great action figure. All right, so if you will, hit that subscribe button and that like button, and you can find me on DCCollectors.com each and every day. And you can find me on social media at DC Collectors on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have this guy, what do you think about him? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Peace.